This took place earlier in the summer. My friend had invited me to this water park place with a wave pool and a lazy river. My friend's older sister had invited her friend, and we were all chilling in the wave pool. The pool was really crowded, so it was difficult to move around. And then all of a sudden, this middle-aged guy comes up to us and says hi. We could all tell something was wrong with this guy, so we said hello and started low-key moving away. The guy followed us and creepily watched us talk. He said nothing, just listening to our conversation. Then he touches my foot. I was a bit creeped out by this, but I didn't say anything. It was a crowded pool, and it would be very easy to accidentally brush someone's foot. Then he touches my friend's ankle. We start moving away again. A few minutes later, he touches my leg, so I tell my friend. Her older sister heard and told us to get out of the wave pool. We went to the lazy river and saw the creep again. We got out and went back to the wave pool. We decided that if he came near us again, we would tell my friend's mom. We never saw him after the lazy river, although I can't actually see anything because I didn't have my glasses and my eyesight sucks. When I was 7, I was raking rocks in my aunt's front yard when a beat-up pickup truck pulled up. The man got out and fiddled with something under the hood and then closed the hood. He asked me,
"Hey kid, do you know how to pop a clutch?"
Spending my childhood on a farm, I indeed know how. "Yes," I responded.
"Give me a hand real quick,"
he said. So I started walking towards the truck. At the last second, my mom called me out from the garage, and I turned around to see what she wanted. I then heard the truck door shut, I heard the truck start, and I heard the truck drive away. That memory never really came up until one day, about 30 years later. I jumped after laying down to go to bed, when out of nowhere the memory came back and hit me. This guy was trying to kidnap me. What the fuck? What bullet did I dodge? I was shaking for at least half an hour over it. It still freaks me out thinking about it. Years ago, me, my family, and some family friends would go camping at some cabins at Lake Placid. Despite what happened this one weekend, that campground holds very fond memories for me that I will cherish forever. The incident happened on 4th of July weekend. My family was grilling and me and my friends, who were children at the time, were running around and playing cops and robbers. While we played, the campground owner came to my parents and offered to pay for some foods. My parents, being nice, gave him food and beer for free. Eventually, the owner overstayed his welcome and was asked to leave by my friend's dad. This angered him, and he took off his shirt and tried to fight him. We were not aware that he was an alcoholic and already drunk when he asked for food and beer. They eventually got him to leave, but he came back, this time with a rifle. He walked around drunkenly trying to load the rifle. One of my friends had walked over to him and asked him what he was doing. The owner said,
"I'm gonna show your dad something."
One of the adults saw this and rushed over. My friend's dad took the rifle from the campground owner's hands and threw it across the parking lot, screaming at him that there were kids around. At this point, I knew something bad was happening, and I rushed all my friends inside our cabin. At this point, my dad called the police and was recording the whole thing.
The police eventually came and arrested him for the night.
Campground owner tried to claim he never had a rifle, even though it was on video. The police came back the next morning and let us file a temporary restraining order while we stayed the weekend. While this is an incident my family laughs at from time to time, I can't help but wonder what would have happened if he had gotten that rifle loaded. I, a European woman, am currently staying in a South American capital. Being a foreigner, I guess I stand out a little, but I didn't feel threatened or in danger at all during the month I spent here. Until yesterday. I was waiting for the bus alone at around 3 p.m. on a sunny day. No one else was around. Then, some guy appeared in the distance. I can't really say why, but he looked shady. Probably because he looked like he was walking straight towards me. I pretended like I didn't see him and I waited for him to pass by. But he came asking for money and maybe something else that I didn't understand. I answered very firmly that no, I didn't have anything to give him, and I stepped back a little, keeping my head up and trying to show I wasn't disturbed. He kept coming closer to me, making me feel very uncomfortable, and started pointing his finger at my face and saying,
I will kill you, I will kill you,
repeatedly. That's when I started thinking I might be in danger, even if the guy didn't have any visible weapon. I had no idea what he was capable of, especially as he was extremely close to me and was still threatening me. Still trying to calmly walk away from him as to not show him I was panicking, I looked around for someone who might help me, but the street was still empty. That's when I saw a bus coming. I waved at it. The doors were already open. I climbed in without looking back, and the driver's assistant told me to hurry to get in. He had seen the incident from a distance, and he told me not to worry, and that we just needed to get away from the crazy guy. This all happened in the span of 30 seconds, but a lot could have gone wrong in such a short amount of time. I'm glad I remained relatively calm, and I will probably invest in pepper spray for the future. A terrifying but true story I experienced when I was 12. I moved to my dad's when I was 10, and I didn't know anyone in the area, except for the family who my dad was friends with. It was a single mom with 3 kids. Luckily, there was a girl a couple years older than me, and we got to know each other a little over the years. We weren't close, but we ended up having the same friends. One night, my friend Rob was hanging out with her and her younger brother. They happened to be in the house alone because my friend's mom was at work. Her mother has been helping this one lady through her work and got to know her fairly well. She found out that the woman's sister was in a mental institution and was let out recently. The night Rob was hanging out with my friend, they get a knock on the door. My friend thought it was just their mom since she knocks a certain way when coming in, and they answered it without thinking. Rob wasn't supposed to be in there, and he took off through the window to his house down the road. He never thought twice about it. It wasn't her mom.
It was the sister of the lady her mother was helping.
And she figured out through talking to her sister where my friend lived and my friend's mom's working schedule. She came inside. This is where I don't know the details, and I'm glad I don't.
My friend's younger brother got away to the neighbors and called the police. The lady brutally murdered my friend a week from Christmas. The lady decapitated my friend
and left her body naked in a bathtub. She hid her head. They had to look through the presents, and I don't know where they found it, but they did. I wasn't allowed to go to her funeral.